Maneva na say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Are you a controversial person?
I don't think I am controversial, but I think I have strong principles, and I believe in my values, and allow those principles and my values to lead my way in all I do. So I don't. I've heard people say that, don't be too truthful or too candid, and that people have lost election because they were being honest and truthful.
Too straight.
But my point is that, how do you want us to serve in public life without truth? How do you expect us to serve with integrity without truth? How can you do that? So that is a contradiction, and so I believe that by all means,
but not controversial.
Let's be no. I think I try as much as possible to be honest. Try as much as possible to be candid. Try as much as possible to just say it as it is, but not controversial. Most often, some of the things I confront tend to become sources of controversies. That one, you can't help it, because if the truth will lead to controversy, then let's face the truth and let the controversy come. Because I won't rather be lying to avoid controversy. That, for me, it will be taking away integrity from public life.
So is it the truth to say that people should start Indomie joints?
Well, I think that was a complete misconstruction. But of course, it's part of this generation. Truth often do not sell. So people always want to embellish the truth, right? So that they can put it out there
and put it on the market.
Because
what exactly did you say?
The context of that conversation.
But what did you say first of all?
Okay.
Before the context.
All right. So So the conversation was about Medina Job Center.
Yes.
And
we will come to.
Yeah.
Forgive me that I'm taking you off, but we'll come to, as a member of parliament, all the things you've done.
Yeah. So
I've seen some of the things in the constitution.
Exactly.
Forgive me. We'll come to.
Yeah, that's fine. But that's the context.
Right.
You see, the job center. I began the job center way back in 2019, before the 2020 election. And what do we do at the job center? We train people. We mentor people. We help people get jobs and get opportunities beyond the formal jobs. And recently, I began the Medina Chamber of Commerce. And the Chamber of Commerce is supposed to identify about 100 businesses that we are supposed to grow. Those that are informal, we formalize them. Of course, like for example, if you're an Indomie seller and you want to formalize, we can formalize your business.
How do you formalize?
What happens is that we can register the business for you, get business operating certificate. Right. That way, you can actually be paying your tax. You can also attract credit, right? So that is the context.
That's important.
And that's the context. And I was being very honest, because you see, I am starting a KK joint, God willing, I'm sure in a month's time. And this
KK joint,
in Medina, the KK joint is called Express Kinky. Now, I'm doing it because I have been on the road talking about entrepreneurship.
It's not because you like kinky.
No. Oh, I love kinky too. And my mother makes good kinky. And we used to sell kinky a lot at Newtown.
So now you have money and you want to expand the business.
I want to do kinky because see, and I'm being very honest.
Yes.
I've seen the roadmap already. Can you imagine if I have a kinky joint, right? That give me 500 Ghana cedis a day. Just imagine that. If I have about 10 or 20 of those kinky joints, can you imagine how much I'll be making a day?
Yes.
And how much I will make a month and in a year? So I was just shaping the mind of people. You see, leaders must take people where they ought to be, even if they don't want to be there. We must be honest and bold enough to speak truth to people. Take people where they ought to be, even if they don't want to be there. And I think that this generation, unfortunately, is a very misguided generation.
So what was the exact statement?
Oh, no, I think the exact statement was, I think I was talking about the fact that we must move beyond the idea of white-collar jobs to entrepreneurship. Young people must consider entrepreneurship. In fact, what I said was that if you are in Lagos, because it was Dr. Sadiq's burial.
Yes. Yes.
So that was where we had a conversation. And these are young Lagos students who were speaking to me. Exactly. So I told them that, look, as you work to get your certificate, get some side jobs that can help you. Because sometimes, as member of parliament, I've had confronted many times where people will come and say that, Honorable, I finished school for 5 years, I don't have a job. I've been home for 10 years, I don't have a job. But you know what? When I was doing my, I think, MPhil, Human Rights, Peace and Conflict Studies, I had a classmate. And this was an orphan who was with me at Winneba. And her side job was when in Winneba was that she used to sew. So she sews for people in the class and put them on her TikToks and all that. And generated money out of that to pay her fees right in Winneba. So I'm saying that we have gotten to a point in time where the theories of Adam Smith will continue to live with us. The problem of scarcity.
Yes.
There is no way human needs are satiable. There's no way every human need can be satisfied. But we can do something to help ourselves. And I say that passionately because I am a beneficiary of that. The first business I ever did, trying to make it in my life, was a gospel album titled Unyame Mpaba. And I used to sell cassettes in cars. I go to studios trying to make sure that
I know that you sing in church.
Oh yes, you see. So
you still sing?
I still sing
as a member of parliament.
Yes,
so when we raise
but I just last before I went to parliament, like I think in 2024, I released another single titled "Lord Give Me Grace to Run My Race." So I'm saying that whilst you are doing the formal things, I have a PhD in law, but I have side things I do, side businesses. You know, when I came to Legon to do law, do you know what I did? I had a small company called FS Consult. I used to go around looking for uncompleted buildings, and I'll be asking them that, oh, if you not use your house for anything, can you give it to me? I converted a lot of properties into hostels, and I used to do what we call mediation and arbitration when I was in school. Those kind of thing. The first BMW I got was out of that mediation and arbitration.
You started making money
when I was an LLB student.
Okay.
Then, by the time we finished LLB, my colleagues would bear me out. I was a class captain. I had written 3 books and launched them on Legon campus. When we went to Makola, I was a class captain, selling the books, the law books, to my colleagues. By the time I finished with Makola and did pupillage for I think 6 months. After the 6 months pupillage, I had written a new book titled Homeless. And Homeless was a GES approved book for all public schools. And because of the stories I was telling, His Excellency President Mills, may he so rest in peace.
Yes.
Through Honorable John Tia, the then Information Minister, they gave me a project titled Public Schools Orientation Tour. And I used to tour the whole country trying to speak to children and sell these books. The money I made from those books was what I used to establish the FX Law and Associates.
This one wasn't a BMW.
No.
So the first money you made, you used it to buy.
No. The BMW was payment for a work I had done.
Oh, payment for
a work I had done,
but so, not money from the first.
No.
The first
so you see, so I'm saying that it is entirely possible, and this is not unique to me, and it's not because I was privileged or my parents were privileged. They were not. I was also from a very, very, very difficult home. Things were tough. We were on the streets selling, and so I can understand the difficulties every young person is going through. But believe in yourself, even if no one believes you. If there is no opportunity, you can create some of them. You see, so everyone can do something.
Is it the case that young men of today don't like to go through the process? I believe so anyway. They don't like to.
I was doing some mentorship recently, and I was telling some young men that, look, when you look at us today, you see a finished product. You see, someone who has gone through the meals.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't know the process. It's just a product that you see. But there is a process. There's a process. You can imagine when I finished Legon, this album I'm talking about, that is 2001. 2001. In 2002, 2003, when I was Legon, before I was trying to aspire for SRC president, I had a small business in Indomie called Franklas. So I go and teach there and come back to Legon. When I finished senior high school, those who bear me out at Taifa, what I used to do is that I go to homes and go and collect. I go to homes and ask, oh, can I come and teach your kids? I had about 3-4 different homes. and I wake up, teach here, teach here, teach there, teach there. At the end of the month, I get white envelope for each of them.
Do you know the problem currently?
I don't know. In fact, I don't know why.
So
there is a challenge. There's a real challenge.
So for the many people that you have been a mentor to, the problem. Have you gone to social media in the last 2 days?
I hardly do social media.
After your statement, you see
no,
that.
No. I've seen
some
people,
media men
make
it's been
statements
posted and it's receiving some backlash. But do you know where the problem is? The problem is the politicization. What you are telling us now is coming from the point and position of a professional and a technocrat and a stance of depoliticization, of reorienting the young people. But the NDC came on the promise of creating 1 million jobs, supporting the people with jobs, 24-hour economy, 3 shifts, 3 people, 3 shifts, and so on and so forth. So the perception of the people is that NDC is in power today. Tomorrow, me, Xavier, I should have a job because my friend is Honorable Dr. Lawyer Francis Sosu.
You know, I see, by all means, government will create jobs. But no amount of jobs created by government will absorb every unemployed person. We must understand that. Let's be honest. And that's why these things, I don't politicize them. When it comes to personal growth and mentorship, it's not about politics. In fact, when you come to my office,
no, you are an epitome of what we are talking about.
Exactly.
You are the person. But the party politicizing it makes it problematic.
No, you see, that's a problem. You see, and that is a problem of Ghana. You see, partisanship will continue to be a problem for Ghana. Hunger doesn't know politics. A lack of job doesn't know political party, political colors. If you want to do NDC, MPP with your own personal growth
and jobs,
I'm telling you, you lose it. Let me be very, very honest with you. No political person will be politician forever. I won't be a career politician. I will do my own. My time will come. I will leave. But I'm telling you,
you have said too many times that you are here because you want to help them.
I'm going to serve and serve. After service, I will go.
How long do you want to serve in Parliament?
Well, I can't tell now because there are several factors that are making
Number one, being able to unseat the MPP in Medina was a huge, a whole new dynamic. So you are becoming a Mugabe in Medina.
I don't think.
How long do you want to be there?
I don't think that I want to.
How many terms do you want to go in Medina?
I would want to hide that for now.
Like 4 terms.
There's a reason I don't. Well, let me hide that for now.
4 terms will be okay. Let's come back to
because I believe in personal growth.
Right.
And so, how to create opportunities for myself, for my people, create opportunity for Medina people to get opportunity. That's what I'm interested in. Look, many young people have come to my office, and by the time they are going, they've turned into entrepreneurs. And so, when you come to Medina, one of the things we do a lot is what we call business support. So, when you go to my common fund account, a lot of the things we've done is business support. So I'm always like, okay, in the meantime, now that you have not yet got a job, what can you do? So can you bring a business idea? Can we do something? And this is what I do almost on a daily basis. And it has nothing to do with politics. And those who benefit from our business support program, they are apolitical. Everybody, people don't benefit because they are NDC or they are any political party. But everyone, once you have a small business, and you want to be supported either through the Medina Job Center, through the Medina Chamber of Commerce, we are willing to support you. And I think that let us depoliticize issues of unemployment. It's so important. Because where you are, I
don't get it.
So because I tell my people and I tell them, and anytime if you come to my heart, it's something I say every day. We can be political, but non-partisan when it comes to these matters. It's so key that we do that.
And let me divert a bit.
Okay.
Let me be political a bit. So let me disturb you.
Let's do small politics. You want to do politics? Okay.
So my point is, what then becomes of the political parties' manifestos? And the NPP promised hugely jobs, that we are going to create jobs. We have always known that there is always a problem with that. NDC has been promising. We have always known there is always a problem with that. But because you are here and you are a member of the NDC, let me now bring it down. And NDC is in government now. NDC promised 24-hour economy. NDC promised 3 shifts for people. What has become of that?
Well, I believe
that is in perspective or in context to our discussions now about orienting the young people to begin to accept that they need to wake up, they need to take up on their own government's businesses to provide a conducive environment for them. What has become of the 24-hour?
Well, I believe that a 24-hour economy definitely, as we have espoused over and over and over again, is a framework. Now, there is a whole authority that has been set that is working to ensure that we fully implement a 24-hour economy. But as we speak now, there are many areas of our economy that is already experiencing that 24-hour economy anyway. So, for example, the passport office, as we know, the premium services that go on there is through the 24-hour arrangement. If you go to DVLE, for example, if you go to the port, 24-hour economy is in operation. Now, as to how that will generate jobs, it will take time because there is no policy. If you do public policy, the effect of public policy or the time it takes for you to have a full effect of public policy is usually between 3 and 4 years. So even when you begin a public policy today, it will not. The effect will not. It's not immediate. That's not. The effects are not immediate. Now remember that, and government has since government came, a lot of recruitment is ongoing. For example, the security services are ongoing.
We saw the security services.
So definitely, recruitment will go on. My issue is that if you look at the gap in terms of the number of young people who are willing and ready to work,
there are about 350,000 to 400,000 young men coming into the job market every year.
Every year. And so you ask yourself that, how do you absorb that number of people? And I believe that it is through industry, right? It means that we have to, it's through industrialization, right? Unless you have new industry, because otherwise what it means is that those who are currently working, you have to take all of them away, or something will happen suddenly that everybody is there, then you are picking new set of people. That won't happen, because that would be a very, very, it's an impossible scenario. So it is new industries coming on board that can generate those new jobs. But until those new industries come on board, it will be very, very difficult to absorb the total number of young men that are coming on the job market annually. And that is why entrepreneurship plays a key role. Look, for example, I just told you about my KK business. See, if you have one KK joint.
As for the KK, you have to invite us to the
KK Express, you'll be there.
Yeah.
It's KK Express.
When is it happening anyway? When are you opening?
No, I'll open it, I think, the first week of next month.
The first week of May.
Yeah, the first week of May.
First week of May. So we are marking our calendars.
Yes, so that you come and eat the KK. Yeah.
At least to begin with.
If one KK joint, say, have 10 people who are working for me, and I'm able to replicate, let's say, 20 KK joints, 10 times 20. That's the number of jobs I've created alone.
Yeah.
If another young man, another young woman is doing something, what it means is that sooner than later, we ourselves will create a situation that takes young men out of the, from the unemployed market. Now, many people have seen who have also commented positively about what happened. Of course, the twists and turns are ongoing, but that's not really my intention. But people have said, oh, but we don't have credit. We may want to do something for ourselves, but lack of credit. And I'm like, that is a great idea, because that's a good conversation point. If you accept the fact that, look, we can do something about ourselves, but it's credit, then that shifts the conversation. How then do we ensure that there are affordable credits for young people who want to enter into entrepreneurship? Right?
Some are saying they didn't hear this, as you are saying now. I mean, we hear some of these in bits and pieces, but the way you are putting it together, that's not what the NDC said. They felt that, for example, in Medina, the MCA's office, or let me say the coordinating office, will run 3 shifts. So in the night, the coordinating office will be running, and so another MC will be there. Another district coordinating or municipal coordinating director will be there. Another DFO will be there.
I don't think that's exactly, the context. I understand how people may want to do all the political twists and turns as far as these things are concerned, but I don't think that's exactly what. as much as practicable,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That is how, I mean, you will operate within the 24-hour economy. And like I
They
said,
think that's how what to create jobs. So if there are government employees or corporate sector employees, 1 million people,
yeah, but you see,
by the time NDC is in government, we should have 3 million people. We have sold by 2 million.
You see, that is a possibility. But I know all those things are subject to constraints, right? They're subject to constraints. So, for example, before recruitment is starting now, you need financial clearance.
Oh, no, but where were you? They didn't hear these constraints. Where were you during the campaign? I mean, if you go on social media now,
you see,
people are tweeting, and as we are here, people are asking that honorable is honorable. We know you, but where were you? Because we didn't hear these constraints, these detailing.
No, but so obviously,
the mindset was that once.
No. You see, that's why we are helping the people.
Yeah.
When you have a mindset, which is a wrong mindset, it will not give you the benefits of what you want. No matter how fast you are on a wrong direction,
right,
you cannot reach your destination.
Right.
And so my point is that if that is what people construe it to be,
then that is not
because then it means that there's a problem
and miscommunication.
Exactly. You see, and so by all means, systems are going to be put in place for us to run the full operationalization of this 24-hour economy, which I believe that the 24-hour economy is also provide opportunities for all of us. So, for example, when you come to Medina, we are working on building a 24-hour market. When we have a 24-hour market,
you have a very huge market
already. My kinky will do well.
Yeah.
I will have my kinky.
Yeah.
And if I have my kinky and I'm making up to, let's say, maybe 50K, 60K, 70K every month, I will need an accountant, right? So I will employ one accountant. I'm saying that let us begin to think entrepreneurial and let's take it very seriously because that is the path to deal with the issue of youth unemployment.
I'm happy that you've been able to clear it because the mindset had been that honorable says we can't give you jobs.
Oh, no. I mean, how can you say that? No.
It is rather get into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, do something. I mean, actually, if you look at the full, usually these things come in bits and pieces.
Yeah.
And somebody will tweet what they want to tweet. However, you see, because when I was speaking, there were students I was talking to. I said, by all means, get your certificate. But I have pursued all the way to a PhD level. So by all means, get
different certificates.
Yes. Yeah. But aside the certificate, I beg you, find business. Find business. Do business. Let's do business.
PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.